Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, your boy Edgar Berlanga, his stock is falling on a fight-by-fight basis, and it's not good to see. But to everybody's criticisms and just harsh statements about him, he's still undefeated. He's still 19-0 with 16 knockouts, so he hasn't lost yet. But it's been reported that by ESPN that they have found Edgar Berlanga's next opponent. They found him, and you can say the date. It'll be June 11th at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden. So good for Edgar to stay active and just get keep getting sharper and better and more rounds. But his opponent will be a guy that I'm very familiar with, and that comes in the form of the very durable and tough Roamer Angulo. Now, Roamer Angulo is a guy that I'm very familiar with because he trains out of the Mundo Boxing Gym in Miami, Florida, under the guidance of Pedro Diaz. And I know I said this when Edgar Berlanga fought Steve Rolls last time, but Steve Rolls can box and move a little bit. We knew he could box and move a little bit just from what we saw in the Golovkin fight. And this time he actually wanted to be more patient, so he actually got the best out of Steve Rolls in this fight. And that fight could have been a draw. That fight could have maybe even been a Steve Rolls win. It could have won either way. It was that close. And Berlanga's stock went down because that Rolls was supposed to be a guy that they handpicked. They handpicked Steve Rolls. The fight with Berlanga was only his second fight at 168, so he really wasn't a 68-pounder. You could say full-fledged. And he looked bad against them, and he didn't deliver the performance we wanted, but he still won. Angulo is a bit of a different fighter because Angulo, I wouldn't say he has the boxing skills or the back foot boxing skills of a Steve Rolls. If anything, if I had to say it, I would say that Roamer Angulo, in some ways, is actually more of a made-to-order, more of a tailor-made opponent for Berlanga than, let's say, a guy like Steve Rolls. Because one thing about Roamer Angulo, he's going to come forward. He's going to come press you in the high guard. He doesn't have a lot as far as punch selection, but he is a guy that if your stamina is not good, if you allow him to out-punch you, he can outwork you to decision. We've seen that already in his career where he upset Anthony Sims a couple years ago, and Anthony Sims has been nowhere to be found or heard since. Hasn't been the same since. So this is a fight where on paper, I think, Angulo could present, some problems for Edgar Berlanga. He's a guy that I think Berlanga will have the opportunity to work on his feints and those more nuanced boxing skills against. But this is a fight where he can ill afford to let Angulo get off punching first. And funny enough, I think Steve Rolls last time was 37 years old. Well, now they're fighting a guy for Berlanga who's actually even older. Angulo's 38, so this is a chance for him to really make a statement. Angulo's only lost twice in his career. He lost to Gilberto Ramirez at 168 and found a way to take him the distance. Then he beat Anthony Sims Jr. in 2020, and then later on in 2020, he fought Dea Benavidez, lost every round to him, and got broken down and stopped in the 10th round. So this is a guy that's fought some names. This is a guy that has shown the ability to be durable. But this is also a guy that if you're really a quality fighter, like let's say a guy like Benavidez or even Zordo, because Zordo didn't knock him out, but Zordo won every round. Zordo won every single round against this guy. So my thing is this: Edgar Berlanga has to show some form of improvement in this fight because it's getting ridiculous. It's getting to a point where he hasn't lost a fight yet, but he's just not developing, and you start to believe if Top Rank ever put him in there with a guy like John Ryder or Morel, or even a freaking Gabe Rosado, guys like that, you start to believe that, he might lose. Even this might sound crazy, but even Shane Mosley Jr., who just beat Rosado, I'm starting to think even he could have beat Berlanga because while Berlanga is strong, while Berlanga, can punch, we know he can punch, we know he's strong, but he just he hasn't shown to have those things that can set up his best qualities. He's not really feinting a whole lot. He's don't really got much dimensions with his jab. He's very, 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 for lack of a better term, he's basic. And I think, I hate to say this, I really enjoyed it when it was happening, but you know, as times went on and he stepped up, I almost felt like that knockout streak for Berlanga was the worst thing to happen to him, because now that he's going rounds and whatnot, guys are exposing him. You know, he hasn't lost. Like Marcelo Coceres dropped his ass. Steve Rose showed that if you have good back foot boxing skills, you can beat him. So that's why Top Rank fought someone who doesn't have no back foot boxing skills. If you watch Roamer Angulo fight, he has no back foot boxing skills whatsoever. He's gonna come there. He's gonna come in high guard. He's gonna try to be, you know, break him down with pressure and determination and things like that. But he's very basic as far as punch selection and the tools that he has available to him in his disposal. So I'm still not gonna call him a hype job yet, but like my thing is this: Edgar Berlanga, this is gonna be fight number 20? This will be his 20th professional fight. You're now fighting guys who have somewhat names in the 68-pound division. You're now getting rounds. If you're not at least showing that growth as a fighter, this might be the fight where I finally say, you know what? And I don't want to say it because I like Edgar Berlanga. I met him in person, but I call a spade a spade. If he doesn't show no growth this fight, he's a hype job. He's straight up a hype job. And listen, anybody who's already calling him a hype job, I can't even blame you. You are well within your rights to call him a hype job. I don't like calling fighters hype jobs and stuff like that, because these guys, you know, put a lot into the sport and whatnot. But if you're a fighter of Edgar Berlanga's quality, who's shown glimpses of what he can do, and you don't really show that progression as you climb up the rankings, as you climb up to the level of opposition, then I gotta call you a hype job. It's like many years ago, many years ago, when I don't know if you guys remember Tyrone Brunson. Tyrone Brunson was a prospect in the Philadelphia area. He was just like Berlanga, knocking everybody out, had 16, 17 KOs. And then all of a sudden, when he stepped up, he couldn't stop getting knocked out. He couldn't stop showing that he was just a very good club fighter. So listen, I don't think Edgar Berlanga is a very good club fighter. I think he's better than that. But I'm not seeing a guy right now. I'm not saying he can't develop into something, and he's with the right company to do that, because Top Rank has the best matchmakers. If anybody can turn Berlanga into a star, it's Top Rank. But he's at the stage of his career now where it's like, okay, you give us the good moments. You've shown out you can knock these bowling pins down that are not on your level. But in all the fights where he's really been punched in his mouth since he's been in the limelight, he hasn't really blown people away. You know, and boxing, whether fighters like it or not, boxing isn't just about getting the win. If you want to be a big star and you want all those things, then you gotta not just look good, but look good while doing it. So not just win, but look good while doing it. So that's what it is. Roamer Angulo coming in as the opponent, a guy that I think just so long as Edgar Berlanga's stamina is on point, Edgar Berlanga should look great against. But I also thought the same thing about Steve Rose. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Is Edgar Berlanga already a hype job to you? Or do you need another fight or two more to see that for yourself? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Dang It. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.